Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another Imaging USA. Today, I want to introduce our host and speaker and photographer and educator, Miss LaJune King. LaJune,
Hey, how
thank
you
you so
doing?
much. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Now, to our friends in the chat, thank you for joining us as well. I see a couple names out there, so I want to say hello to Ashley, to Fern, to Jessica, to Katrina. Hope I got that right.
Hey,
Either way,
Katrina.
I love the excitement, the energy. That's what I expected. I knew he
I
was going to bring
love
that.
Katrina. I love it.
Awesome. So, everyone, thank you for joining us today. This Imaging USA Unpacked is for you. We want to just touch points with you to see where you're at in your photography journey. And also, let's use this time to kind of follow up from LaJune's session, which we'll dive into today from Imaging USA, and answer any questions that you might not have the opportunity to ask at Imaging. Well, now you can in the chat. So, feel free to use the chat. So, this Unpacked session with Miss King. Your session for Imaging USA was 5 ways to wow your client experience with your processes. June, please help our audience understand what that session contained. Let's just recap a little bit about that session.
Okay. I am really big on client experience. I have been a photographer for over 12 years, and I have this thing with feeling seen, being seen, all the things. And so man, from when I was in college, I used to work at a retail store. Um, I'm gonna age myself, and it's okay. I used to work for the Limited, and we know what the man did later in life. But while I was at the job, like it was an amazing experience, and we always put our clients first. And I just loved how the company made me feel seen as an employee there and all the things. And I always remember, like, man, every time I walk into this store, I feel really good. I feel like I get all the service and the help that I need and understanding for the products and things. Fun fact, my son was named after one of the pants named Drew. That was my favorite pant that we
Okay.
had. So I
Okay.
named my son after that pant. But I have this thing about, having an amazing client experience and getting 5-star Google reviews. Like, I feel like if there's ever a point where I'm too afraid to uh, push my business out there and show up online for other clients, guess what? My Google, my business does my business for me. It brings clients to me. And so I'm really big on making sure that clients have a clear and concise communication for their sessions, after their sessions. It's not just like it's a transaction. You actually want to build relationships with people. So I'm big on client connection and just connecting with people in real life. Um, and then it also comes from a place of, remember me speaking about not being seen, not feeling seen. Um, Showing up as my authentic self. Like I used to be afraid to be me. And I feel like I was blocking a lot of my blessings that way because you don't really get to see the real me when I'm just showing up because, okay, this is how you're supposed to be. I'm assuming this is how we're supposed to act. This is what we're supposed to do. But there are actually clients out there looking for photographers who are human, who share, like minded experiences with them and show everything in the world is not roses and pink clouds and all the things. There's actually ups and downs as you go through it. So I try to show all of that with my clients and future clients, my target audience, just so they can see, oh my God, I love her. She's like the friend in my head that I never had.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that because one thing I admire about photos by ljk.com, you mentioned that spending time with you is not necessarily a photo session, but it's an experience.
Hmm.
And throughout that experience, you are going to walk away with art for your wall.
Hmm.
and that's there on your site. Share with our audience what's it like from the discovery call, client engagement, to the photo session, to the conversation about getting art on the wall. What's that workflow like?
Okay, well, because I have it on my website, I go into the world assuming that people already know my price. So somebody comes, and then when I say that, I mean when someone comes to have a discovery call with me, I'm not selling the cost of my services, of my business. I'm selling the experience with me. So I'm pretty much just giving them a walk down of what to expect with me, what the session will look like, and I'm showing them different types of wall art that they can see themselves in. Like I literally keep albums and image boxes and things right here behind my desk so I could just pull it up and say, hey, this could be you, in this album and things like that. Like you have to keep all of that to the forefront because I don't want anybody to come with the assumption that I'm a shoot and burn photographer. While it's okay, and sometimes people may buy digitals over product, you do understand that giving you product is my number one priority. So it's tangible. A fire happens, you have those things. You lose your phone, you no longer have those things. 9 times out of 10, if that happens, you're gonna grab a piece of wall art or you're gonna grab a photo book. It's just having those little things that you can actually touch and see and pass down to your kids, their kids, their kids, and their kids. Um, so that's pretty much a discovery call. I typically take 15 to 30 minutes because I guess I have everything on my website. When you come to my website as a lead, you get information there. Like I lay it out for the client. So it's like, okay, you pretty much just have to come and ask any questions that you may have for me. Once we have the session, we do a consultation. Once you pay for the session, we do a consultation, and in that consultation, we go over the wardrobe, what I see envisioned for our session, what they may have envisioned for the session, location. I reiterate the purpose of print, showing them, okay, these are the albums, these are the type of prints that I print. I will bring them to the session so you can touch them and feel them and all the things. And it's really good when you have seniors, or if you have a couple who comes and maybe it's just the wife getting photos. Um, Her spouse is actually holding and touching the art, the albums. Like I have 4 different albums that they can choose from. They're actually going through those. So in their mind, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And of course, you show the album first that you want them to buy, because after that, it's like, oh, I don't want to touch anymore. Like this is the one that I want.
This is it
Um,
right here.
Making sure that they touch the products, um, and then I give them a boost during the session. Like I always tell people, hey, I want you to feel really good. I want you to have excitement. I want you to cry during our gallery reveal. So I'm gonna only show you 3 to 5 images. Okay, 3 to 5 images is all you're gonna get. And so it's like, especially if they never worked with me before, you gotta, it's how they loosen up a little bit. So you show them the back of the camera. It's like, oh my God, I love it, LaJune. Okay, girl, let's keep on going. Um, and just give them that boost of confidence. And then post session, they know what to expect. They get an email that says, hey, this is our gallery reveal time. We're going to get on Zoom. We're going to go through their gallery together. We're going to choose their favorites. We're going to narrow down their favorites. And then we're going to make their purchases from there. Um, and I send them a little cute little thank you once the session is all done. But that's pretty much it. Like what they see is what they get. I tell them I catfish them, meaning on my website, all the glitz and glam is out, but when we come to the session, all that's not happening because there's no need for lashes, there's no need for all that extra stuff because it's just gonna come off. I'm gonna sweat it out. Um, but it's a way for them to feel like, okay, I can come, I can be myself, I can let my hair down. I like to get clients to do reels with me just to bring them out of their shell and just different stuff like that. Especially entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are very afraid to show up online and be seen by their target audience, which I guess is why they come to me because I make it look so easy. Um, nine times out of 10, I am the first person to help them do a reel for their session, for their business.
Oh, that's awesome. You even offer that as a service, like
Hmm.
the creating your will, the personal. Well, you label yourself as a personal brand and a portrait family photographer,
Hmm.
but you also offer that additional service outside of you educating for photographers. You are
Hmm.
working with entrepreneurs who are not photographers to
Hmm.
help build a brand, position themselves into content creation. What is that experience like? Because you're going from one experience to the next, and everything is not just a job for you. I'm giving you an experience here. I'm giving
Hmm.
you experience with picking out your photo, your wardrobe. Everything is an experience.
Hmm.
So, what's it like for the ones who are not coming to a photo session but are trying to build up their business? What's that experience like with you?
It's really the same. I'm hands on with everything that I do. I prefer to be in person doing every single thing because if I'm not in person and it's an online situation, I'm not really paying attention. I'm doing all the things. So I like to meet with them where I can just to make sure they feel you can answer any questions that you want. There's no wrong answer. There's no dumb answer, anything like no dumb question, no wrong question or anything like that. But because we're hands on, because we're with each other, hey LaJune, can you look at this? I'm also one of those people. I under promise, over what is it? Under promise, over deliver. So if you sign up for this, I'm looking at everything because what I can't do is if it's your job to push you out into the world and to find your ideal clients, I can't see something that is jacked up and then just move past it because you scheduled me to help you with this. Like, okay, well, let's go ahead and look at this, or maybe next time we can do this. So I'm always looking at everything from a standpoint of how do I help them maximize on their brand so they can be their best selves, like push their business out so they can maximize whatever legacy they're trying to create for themselves or their family. How do I help them do that?
That's awesome. That's very helpful because entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, they're juggling so many different things in their business. So to have someone help them with branding and getting out there, promoting and marketing, that's saving them a ton of time that they can reinvest into their business or their family or their personal life.
Yeah, personal
That's
branding
awesome.
is more than just taking photos. And I think I need people to understand that. When you book me, it's not about just taking photos. I'm literally doing an assessment of your business or your Instagram whenever you say, okay, hey, LaJune, I want to work with you. I know myself, it's kind of like they say, I know my stuff is jacked up, but that's why I'm coming to you. It's not just, oh, I'm going to take this picture and go about my business. Like, also, when I'm taking a photo, this is why I took this photo. I have the perfect caption for you for this photo. And they're like, oh my goodness, like, how do you do this? How are you so quick on your toes with this? I'm like, y'all, I just have an idea of what my client wants. And I like to say that I'm typically their ideal client. So if I'm your ideal client, I know what I want to see, I know what I like, and I just want to help you push that out for yourself.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I want to share something with you.
Okay.
We have some survey results
Okay.
from your session at Imaging USA. I have four
Okay.
that I would like to share with you.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
All right, one. The first one. LaJune is very engaging and loved her style of creating amazing client experiences.
Okay.
That's a beautiful comment.
Uh-huh.
Another one. Amazing presentation! Exclamation point. Seriously, so helpful in reframing how I think about my clients and their experience as humans on the other end receiving a service. I feel inspired and to go above and beyond to give them a pink starburst experience. Tell me more about this pink starburst experience, please.
Okay. So let me pull this down for you really quick. Hold on.
Oh,
Okay.
that's awesome.
Okay. I spoke at a conference and this is what they gifted me with. Okay. The Pink Starburst Experience, it came from, I used to call it the ultimate client experience. And this was back when wedding photographers were doing all the things. Like they were giving these big old lavish gifts to their bridal parties and all that. And I'm just like, listen, I want to make profit. I don't want to go into my profit to like gift all these things, especially, when you get married, there's a lot of gifts you receive that you did not ask for, and you might re-gift them or push them under a shelf or something like that, and then come back to it 5 years and say, oh, I forgot about this. I don't want that to be me. So, I am a lover of pink starburst candy, and I can't eat them right now because I have braces. But before this, I have them in my drawers and all the things for clients. Um, I was trying to figure out a way to make my experience impactful, but also unforgettable. And I just was like, oh gosh, what if I just gave people pink starbursts whenever they, get done working with me, and make them feel like a pink starburst. So March of 2020, uh, I before I went to Costa Rica, I sent a message to Mars Candy Company, and
Okay.
was just like, oh my God, I love Pink Sunrise so much. I'm going to make this my part of my client experience for all of my clients. And they were like, yay, LaJune, you are a Pink Sunburst. Yay, great, wonderful. What's your address so we can send you some swag? I was like, okay, fine, cool. I gave them my address. I really am not thinking that they're going to send me anything. I just said, okay, yeah, I'll give you my address. It's fine. We went to Costa Rica, and they sent me a message and said, hey, you'll have some mail waiting for you whenever you get back home. And I was like, okay, fine. So we get back home, and I have this huge box. And I open the box. There are three Pink Starburst t shirts I didn't even know existed in life. All pink Starburst was a thing now. And I'm like, oh, usually I buy the Starburst and just pick my pink out the pack. And you only get 4 or 5 depending on the rotation. So I was just like, oh my God, this is a thing. And they were huge. They gave me this beautiful card. There was like, LaJune, thank you for your support. You are a pink starburst. I have it framed in my bedroom, like all the things. And so,
Wow, that's
yeah, this is
beautiful.
the moment where you make me feel like a pink starburst. You make me feel amazing and seen amongst all the other people on social media. And so it was kind of like a way for me to get uh, approval to use pink starburst like I use it and call myself a pink starburst. And ever since then, I have been doing just that. So I give clients the same experience that they gave me. That is what I give my clients.
That is awesome. I want to feel like a pink starburst too. That sounds great. Maybe I'm a Snickers. Maybe I'm more like a Snickers person. I don't know. But
It
that
might
sounds
build
pretty
a
cool.
little bit in the car, but it's okay. It's okay.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we got some questions coming in.
Okay.
Um, let's reach out to our audience and see what they want to ask and what they want to know. One question: how do you create your own personal professional brand within this field?
Gosh, it took so long. When I first started, my name was LJK Photography. I did not put LaJune King on anything. I didn't put my face on anything. And honestly, it's because I was afraid that I wouldn't make money as a black photographer. I'm just going to be honest. So I said, okay, well, I'll just name my business LJK Photos, I think it was. And on the cover, I had my dog. But of course, in that moment, I didn't know about SEO. I didn't know about Google. I didn't know about any of the things. It was just pretty much a word of mouth. So I knew for sure everybody loves pets. So if I put my dog on there, everybody's going to want to book me, right? And it just, it wasn't me. And I was photographing every single thing under the sun, y'all. And that's why you have to niche down and figure out what makes you money, and which of those things that makes you money that you absolutely love doing. That's how I narrowed down what I'm doing. Um, but it took a long time. It took an extremely long time for me to be comfortable enough, again, to come out of my skin, to be seen, for other people to find me. And so the first piece of advice that I can offer you is to show up, be imperfect, show people that, again, I am human. I'm going to make mistakes just like you. But at the same time, I'm not stuffy. I'm never going to be a stuffy individual for anybody. You don't ever want to dim your light because you are afraid to push yourself out there and find your target audience. Like, they are out there for you. So show up. Hard thing to do for Hard things for us to do would include reels, would include posting our work, would be, it would include doing all the things. Do that, because how do you expect someone to find you? You also have to understand that, and this is what I did as I pulled myself out to have this personal brand. Not everybody is you. While yes, everybody is taking branding photos, everybody is doing families, everybody is doing bridal portraits, but what is that one thing that another person is missing? It's you. It is your uniqueness. So if you can show people that, you are going to find your target audience. My audience is still six-figure clients. They just have a little mess in their lives. Like, they love to have a good time. They are not everything is polished for them. They understand that I I'm a boss. Okay, I'm a big deal. As Imaging says, I am a big deal. They understand that I am a big deal. And if I believe that I'm a big deal and I push out that I'm a big deal, I'm going to get the clients of my dreams. And that is the same thing that you have to do. You have to build your brand pretty much around your ideal client. Pink is not my favorite color. Pink Starburst just happens to flow into my brand, which is why it is a part of it. And that is why we're pink. But you can't be afraid. You cannot dim your light. Like, whatever is for you is for you. So when I speak to building my personal brand, I showed up. Remember, I wanted to be seen. So how can I ensure that I'm going to be seen? I have to post my work. I can't be afraid of what other people are doing. Forget imposter syndrome. Like, because I am meant to be here.
Mm.
You are meant to be here. You are meant to take photos. And you have to just take that, run with it. Because if you don't, you're going to get into your head, and you're going to go back into a hole, and then your clients aren't going to book you, or no one is going to book you because they can't see you. You're not posting.
Good point. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you mentioned imposter syndrome, being seen. All those things go back to having confidence
Hmm.
and believe in your work and not waiting for perfection to get out there and offer a good product to your clients.
Hmm.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. Another question we have. LaJune, what is something you do after working with the client that helps them feel wowed or remember you so they come back or refer you to other clients?
I give them an experience in the moment, from the start of an email to getting them on the phone. I always say being extra is going to build your business. Don't just do basic things that everybody else does. Go the extra mile. An example would be, um, hi, okay, yesterday someone reached out to me to take some photos for them, and I was on my way to my daughter's soccer game. And I was like, hey, usually I take, you know, appointments for consultations or discovery calls because my schedule is full. I said, but I have 10 minutes. Let me go ahead, chat with you, get an idea for what you want, and we can go from there. Okay. I realized I wasn't a fit for her because I won't be able to photograph her when she needed me to photograph her. So what I did is I took it upon myself to, once I hung up with her, I sent her 3 referrals of someone else who I felt could do the job for her. Did she ask me for that? No. But things like that make people A, want to come back and work with you again because they want to experience you, or B, it makes them refer you, like, oh my gosh, she didn't have to do that. She didn't have to give me three referrals to do a session that I want. So it's just about going the extra mile, saying thank you, saying you're welcome, saying of course, it is my pleasure. You ever gone to Chick-fil-A? Give them Chick-fil-A,
All the
okay?
time.
Give them Chick-fil-A. So you have to, I live my life the way I run my business, but I'm intentional with how I treat people, how I speak to people. You never know what leg somebody is on, okay? So just in case they're on their last one with you, you make them remember, oh my God, life is valuable. She didn't have to go. She didn't have to say that to me. She didn't have to do that. Like I literally am the change that I want to see in the world every single day, every day.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic, because you create good habits that way. It becomes
Mm-hmm,
muscle memory if you live your life the way you run your business.
mm-hmm,
If you treat people fairly, the platinum rule, treat others how they want to be treated, not how you want to treat them. It becomes second nature,
mm-hmm,
and it becomes authentic and it's truthful. So people
mm-hmm,
appreciate that, especially in today's world.
mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right, another question. I love the pink starburst story. I love the pink starburst story. Would you love to create an? I would love to create an experience like this. How would you suggest I create my own theme experience?
Okay, I get this question a lot, and what I will say is make it personable. It's not about the cost of the gift that you give them. I literally have my Starburst coming on rotation every 3 months to give to a client. It's the story behind it. Storytelling, is really big in photography and getting people to understand your story and why it is you're doing it. Make it personal. You can do something that means something to you, or you can take each client and gift them something based off of a conversation that you all had with each other. You have to active listen throughout your entire session to see what it is that a client clings on to. Instead of me doing that, now that can be something extra you can do, but instead of doing that, I do something that is meaningful to me. Like I have kids calling me the pink starburst lady. Like that's a big deal, So it's something that is personal to me that I'm able to share with my clients. So I would suggest you find something, dig deep into your soul about what is something that is very meaningful, that is something I do every single day that a client can take with them and use for the rest of the time. And
Mm,
and and stick to it. Like you have to post it. Like nobody knows I'm the pink starburst lady unless I'm saying I'm the pink starburst lady. So you have to make it a part of your brand and everything that you do so they know, oh my God, I know her. I know her, so that's it.
absolutely, absolutely. That goes a long way, especially in today's world of social media. You know, having that brand, that uniqueness out there and sharing it, it's going to be tremendously valuable. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's an easy way for people to find you.
Hmm.
They can find you just by a logo, something small, can
Yep.
bring a big audience to you.
Hmm.
That's very true. Another question for us. How do you do photography and sell it if you don't have an actual studio?
Oh gosh, I did not have a studio before 3 years ago, and I was outside. I mean, I used to be the natural light photographer. That was also because I was afraid of OCF. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Um, no, photograph people outside. I did personal branding sessions outside. You can rent other studios. Make sure you put in your cost of doing business, or you can let your client book it. Um, Go to people's homes. Like there's no excuse to have a photo session. I can go in my garage right now, pull down my pink backdrop or my gray backdrop, and photograph a headshot if I need to. Like there's no excuse to not do what you love and make the money doing what you love.
Absolutely. You can create a wonderful experience outside the studio. You could
Hmm.
be at the park. You can
Bring
be at
water, bring fans, bring makeup blotters for them. Like think about all the things you would need if you were out there on a photo session. Eyelashes, my eyelashes pop off when I'm out in the sun, and I'll just pull them off. Okay, eyelash glue. Like, think of those things for your client. Bring tents. If you can bring a rolling rack, whatever you can. I was hauling around stuff on Saturday. I was outside, and usually outside I don't use equipment. I brought my wagon, but it was helpful, even though I didn't use my light. I ended up putting all the clients' bags and stuff on that wagon, and we were able to drag everything around. She didn't have to sweat a bit. So it's just thinking about the extra things to incorporate that into your experience. Also, if a client asks you something more than once, I'll say twice, okay? Incorporate that into your workflow, incorporate that into your process. So that's a question that you don't have to answer again. It's already within your process.
Yeah. I think every photographer who shoots people, human beings, or even animals, should do outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
Experience that because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to do two things. It's going to allow you to use the sun, which is the
Mm-hmm.
natural light that's out there, and understand how to manage that,
Mm-hmm.
but also really know the gear you need to create what you want. You're not going to want to haul around a whole studio with you
Yep.
when you're outside.
Yep.
So you're going to focus on being as minimal as possible, still creating high quality work and a create high quality image,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to relay into the studio when you get there.
I am a one camera, one lens girl. I take it, I do my thing, and I go about my business.
Hmm.
That's it. Except for Saturday. Saturday, I thought I was gonna do the most, and I literally did the most and didn't even use it. So never again. I'm just gonna stick with what I know. Take my camera, my lens, and I'm done.
Yeah, yeah, get to know it. Give me a nifty 50. I'm okay with that. I can make it
Mhm.
work. Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, awesome. What time is it? We got time for one more question, if you don't mind. One more question, okay?
Okay.
All right, one more question. Last question is, how do I find a photographer mentor?
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. All right. So I'm very raw, but I'm not gonna be raw today because I'm here. Okay. So, but what I would say is research. Do your research. Don't always look for the big names to mentor you, because a lot of mentorships can be watered down.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
find somebody um, that you admire, that you can take something from. There may be a time where you have to work with people in certain niches of what you need. Like, everybody might not be a one-stop shop. But if you are blessed to find a mentor like that, I highly recommend you do it. I have a mentor, Dr. Tamaya Kovet. No, but she literally helped me get to where I am today. I was the person who was afraid to do mentorship because I have been burned so much. Like, I would give my last amount of money to be mentored and not get anything from it. Or I felt like it was, oh, let's take what we see on the internet, and I know I'm going to put this into a course, and I'm going to push it out and sell it to you, and hopefully you get something from it. I'm very intentional with who I invest my time in so I can grow my business. So I would just recommend, always research, ask questions, reach out to them. If you reach out to them, be ready, okay? Um, Understand that mentorships do cost money, but you might catch a blessing from somebody just by being ready in the right place at the right time for mentorship. So when you're reaching out and you want mentorship, be honest with what your expectations are, what takeaways you want from it, and the capacity that you have to learn. Like, that's everything. Like, what is the point in reaching out to a mentor if you don't even have the capacity to do what they expect of you?
Yeah, that's very true. You have to invest as much time as they are investing in you,
Hmm.
and maybe a little more,
Yeah.
because you have to apply what they're teaching you, right?
Yeah.
And show and prove that that you're taking that knowledge, that information, that they're wasting their time.
Hmm.
Awesome, awesome. Well, June, I can feel like I can talk to you forever. I can talk to you until Imaging 2025 gets here. But I know you have a business to run, and there are plenty of pink starbursts waiting for you soon. You'll get there. So, everyone, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you, LaJune, for sharing your knowledge and your expertise and just pushing the envelope forward for so many of our photographers who want to know how and why and how to do it to get their businesses off the ground. So, thank you for contributing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So, everyone, again, thank you for your time. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Pick up your camera and please keep inspiring. Bye bye.
Bye.